Hello, everybody. Hello and happy Saturday. Coming to you live on YouTube. Hello. First time YouTube live. So let me go ahead and pull this up too so I can read comments and things down here. I'll probably back you guys up a little bit too. I'm so excited. We're going to craft a bit today. We've got an hour to spend together, so no tutorial today, of course, because we're going to do some live crafting. Couple things I'm working on today, but we're first going to glitter a cup because I'm obsessed with this color palette, to say the least. To say the least, I'm obsessed. Okay, let me just make sure this is down. Perfect, and I can read comments. Even better. Okay, so I do need to grab my cup because if you follow me on any of my other platforms, hey girl, if you follow me on any of my other platforms, I never have everything I need when I'm getting ready to craft. So just bear with me. I do have to go get my cup from the spray tent because I just spray painted it. But we're gonna glitter a cup. I'm obsessed with this color palette. So let me show you the color palette real quick. So we have some purple, okay. Hi Marie. We have some like coral orange. And then we're doing gold. So we're gonna do like a swirl. And if we have, actually we probably won't have time because I think I'm gonna do epoxy method glitter application because it's my personal favorite way. So just my personal favorite. But we're gonna do like a swirl, but I do wanna add leopard print. I'm obsessed with leopard print. We all know. Hi, Latoya. Okay, I have to grab my cup. So it is kind of similar to this palette I did. So if you've been following me on other platforms, I started this or did this, I want to say it was on Instagram, I think. And we just finished it up last night in my Facebook group, but I still have to add a decal. It's still a little bit tacky because it had epoxy on it last night. But it's kind of like this, but we're going to throw in gold too instead of white. So just hold it. I promise it's going to be beautiful. Okay, so let me back you guys up though too, because you guys are up close and personal, which is great, except for I tend to bang on my table a lot. So let me move y'all so that you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, now I have to check the camera angle and make sure it actually is a better look. Maybe. I guess I don't need you up so high. Hello, sorry. I'll tilt you guys a little bit so you can see what I'm doing, and I'll back this up. Hello to everybody joining. I see that there's quite a few of you in here already. Feel free to say like, hey, how are you? How's everybody's Saturday going? Hopefully well. All right, so this is the cup that I glittered, that I spray painted. So I just did a gold spray paint, and then I did Summer Pedicure, which is a color shot color, and then Aromatherapy for my purple. Both color shot colors. If you don't have color shot spray paints, I 10 out of 10 recommend. They're my favorite, and they dry so quick. They dry so stinking quick. It's like the best. Because I don't know about you, I'm impatient. I'm impatient when I'm inspired to like glitter something, like I want to do it now. And so to have to wait for paint to dry, that's painful for me, you know? All right, let me shift these over here because I need to move my mat down here. Boop. Scoot my mat down. Just pick this up a bit. I'm excited. I'm so excited for this cup. I hope it turns out as pretty in real life as it looks in my head. Not everything that I think of in my head always turns out. Sometimes things are prettier in my head, and sometimes it's the opposite. It looks even more gorgeous and breathtaking on a cup. All right, now that we're completely kind of cover here. I decided to do a handled cup for this. Now, I'm not going to glitter the handle today. I've been obsessed with handled cups, but doing the handle in a color that completely stands out. Mostly using like foil flakes. So I have a good old friend who I met via Instagram, and now we're legit besties. She had just mentioned she picked up a bunch of like foil flakes in different colors, like metallic colors off of Amazon. So I think I'm going to snag those because I think this would be really pretty with like a purple metallic foil flaked handle. That's my thought process, at least right now. We all know that my mind changes often sometimes when I'm working on designs, but that's my thought process as of now, as of this moment. Hi, Veronica. Now, oh, you're going into my favorite place, Marie the Dollar Tree. I've been so good, though. You guys would be proud of me. I've been good about not going in and spending bajillions of dollars on places like the Dollar Tree, where it should be like a bargain, you know? But I mean, since it's been $1.25, I feel like I spend more money, you know? Because then I'm like, well, I have to get all of these things, of course. And I don't know about you, but I can't walk into the Dollar Tree without getting something. It's kind of like going into Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I can't go into any of those places. If you're taking me there, the expectation is that I'm buying something. Usually it's like at least $100 worth of stuff. I will find something at a craft store to buy. But I've been good. I've been trying to save and be a penny pincher a little bit for 2025. Not completely, but just being more mindful, we'll say. Mindful about what I spend. Hello, Faye. Hi, Cynthia. So that's what I'll call it. We'll call it, I'm just trying to be a little bit more cognizant of the money I spend. Do I really need that? Because as crafters, of course, we tend to, you know, grab things and with the intention to use them, of course. But if you're like me, you also are like a serial crafter. Like there's some things that you're like, oh my gosh, that'd be such a great idea. I'm going to grab all the stuff to do this idea. And then the idea never happens, you know? Hello, Miss Rose. How are you? Okay, so before I start mixing epoxy, let's talk about the glitters that I'm using today. I'm using what I would call a smorgasbord of glitter today, okay? From various different people. We'll start with the golds. So I am using Nugget. This is from Bella Nieve Creations. She's an amazing crafter and she sells some beautiful glitters over there. I also have Retro, which I'm hoping, okay, I was like, did I ever open this? I did. We're gonna use a little bit of Retro from Lysha Creations. She's no longer selling glitter or in business, so you can use some other like really large chunky gold that you have on hand. Thank you, Cynthia. And then we're going to use good old, my OG favorite gold, Athena from Peachy Olive Glitter. You can never go wrong with Athena. Oh, love this glitter. Hence why I have this much left and always have to restock. Okay, then we move into our oranges. So I like to, when I am doing glittering a cup, I love to build upon the color, if that makes sense, by using different cuts of the same color. So I usually will pick like a really chunky in that shade, a medium, and then a fine cut to go over that section. I just feel like it honestly, for me, I feel like it adds more sparkle when you have different cuts of glitter in the same or similar shades on the cup versus just using one cut of glitter. So I didn't have a chunky like orange corally kind of color, so I decided to kind of just use an opal as like the base. So we're going to use Snow White from PDB. This, I think, is the only PDB glitter I currently have in my collection. It was sent to me in like one of my cup swaps as a gift. And it's a beautiful, beautiful like white opal-y glitter. So we're going to use that as our base under our other two orange colors on the coral section. Because it's a translucent glitter, it's going to just mimic what's under it. So little cheat, little hack there. My favorite thing. And then for the two like orangey colors, these are Baddie glitter colors. We have Mango Bliss, Baddie glitter. And then we have Aphrodite. Beautiful. These are just like a hint of a shade off, but I love that because it's going to play together to get me this like corally color of the spray paint. Okay, then finally, for our purples. For our chunky, we're using Rosalind Fatty Glitter. It's got a lot of chunky pieces, but also some fine pieces. That'll be a good base layer. Then we're gonna go in with Jewels, a really beautiful translucent sort of like pale purple color. And then finally, to really just shore things up, we're going in with Wisteria, which is a darker purple, but that's okay because that'll be our final color to use to fill in any of those gaps along the purple section. So those are the glitters we're gonna use. Next thing we're gonna do though, excuse me, where did I put my water? Is we're gonna mix up some epoxy. So my absolute favorite way to glitter a cup is the epoxy method. Can you use Mod Podge? Yes. I will use Mod Podge if I'm gonna do a single color. But for me, I just find that using epoxy gives me longer time to like really build upon my glitters and colors. So I will always use the epoxy method glitter application if I'm going to be using more than just a couple of colors of glitter. That way I don't feel rushed to have to hurry up and finish, if that makes sense. I get a little bit longer working time. So I'm also going to give you my spiel. I am getting ready to mix epoxy. You should always, always, always wear PPE. Because I'm live, I'm not going to put my PPE, my face mask on. I actually need to order my, I also need to order new filters for mine. You should replace your filter. They say you should replace it at least once every 6 months, but if you're frequently using your respirator, then you should be replacing that more often. So like I have to replace mine every like 1 to 3 months. And it's all just dependent on like how often you're epoxying. And when you're not epoxying, put that in like a container or something so that it's not wearing your filter just with the filtered air in your space. Okay. So you should wear some sort of protector for your face and for breathing, respiration, okay? Hello, hello, how are you? Okay, so I'm going to be using Flint Sister Supply Shop Fast Cure Epoxy. I will get about 20 minutes of working time with this epoxy in a thin coat on my cup. My go-to, of course, epoxy. I do have a discount code for Flint Sisters Epoxy. They're currently out of stock, epoxy-wise, right now, but epoxy is due to be here next week, by the end of next week, I believe. Perfect time to stock up. And I always post typically on Instagram and Facebook when there's restocks. So I'm only gonna mix up 5 mLs. We're not even using that much because we don't need a lot when it comes to adding a thin layer to glitter. The thinner the better, because we don't want our glitter like sloughing off our cup. We want it to stay put when we put it there. Oh no, I didn't bring over my stir stick. I thought I had one on the table. All right, let me go grab my stir stick because apparently I didn't grab one. Oop. Okay. My favorite stir sticks are like the metal coffee stir sticks. Clearly I don't use them for coffee. I only use them for mixing epoxy. Because why not? Why not, you know? So we're going to mix this up. I did have to warm up, and as you can kind of see, because I did just throw them back in there. I used to have a baby bottle warmer, which I would use to warm up my epoxy. I have no clue. When I cleaned like 6 months ago, I did something with it and I can't find it. But alternatively, you don't have to have that, but I do recommend that if you're using Flint Sister Supply Shop that you warm up your epoxy because it's been so cold here in New York. Like, I mean, we've been in the teens for much of this week. I think we're finally in the 20s today, but it's been quite chilly and I do work out of my garage. So I end up warming both part A and part B. Hi, Sheila. But you do not have to. When it's like fall, spring, when it's just a little bit warmer than it normally is, or than it is right now in the winter, I only will warm up part A, which is the thicker of the two. But it's been so obnoxiously cold that I've had to warm up both parts. Otherwise, it takes forever to get part B to squeeze out of the bottle. Hi, Alina. Alina, did you ever find your iPad? I saw your comment and it just made me giggle earlier today when I saw it. I was like, oh, she hit that thing so well. Okay, I'm also being quite aggressive with stirring here. Mostly because this is going to be such a thin coat on this that bubbles are not an issue. No, it's insane. Oh no. I can't believe like you hit it so well from your grandson that you hit it from yourself. So don't stress about bubbles when you're going to be using it just for the sake of, you know, epoxy or glitter application. Because we're going to be popping most of those bubbles by just smoothing it so thin on our cup. All right. I think this is just about good. Where's my... All right. I feel pretty good about that. Set that there. Let me clean off my stir stick. Hi, Maria. Oh my gosh, I do. I actually use a kerosene heater while I'm out here. Because that it obviously saves on our energy bill too. Right now I'm using my space heater because I'm only going to be out here for a little bit. But that kerosene heater, oh, if you don't have one of those for like your larger spaces, like your garage or something that you work out of, your she shed, if you have one of those, definitely recommend those, you know? But yes, it is a must. And even now my hands are still a bit cold. Like I haven't quite fully warmed up, but I have to be running my heater because I would just be out here shivering otherwise. I cleaned my bedroom last week and lost, no, the light remote. I can't find it anywhere. Don't you hate that? You like literally are trying to do, right? You're trying to do a good job by, of course, like picking up, right? Cleaning things, organizing, and then you organize so well that you can't find anything that you put away. Because in the moment it was a great idea, right? With how you organize things, but now you were how you organize things. All right, so let me get our papers down here. Use some cardstock paper here to do these. So as I mentioned, I am not going to glitter the handle. I'm going to do a metallic foil on this. So I'm going to avoid the handle when I add the epoxy for glittering. If a little bit of glitter gets on it, it's not a big deal. My cup is a bit cold. I should have placed it in front of my heater, but so I might have to use close to all 5 mLs. Normally, I use probably about half, but if your cup's cold, your epoxy is not going to want to spread as well as you would like it to. Hello from Canada. Hi, Lori. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy to be live with you guys. It's a little bit different than what we normally do on a Saturday, right? When we all hang out in the live chat, watching a tutorial. The thing is, I have been working on so many things, and I told myself this year that I was really going to go back to basics a lot on my channel. But there have been, I don't know what it is about January, but there have been a couple weeks where it's just been like, wow, to like get things done. It's been much more difficult than it normally is to like get stuff or tutorials finished. So I thought this would be a little bit of a nice change. I do hope to do more lives on YouTube too. I don't think I utilize this platform as much as I can, because I have a lot of followers and subscribers over here that I really only get to interact with in like comments on videos or during video premieres if they're able to watch it when it's premiering for the first time, or, you know, available for the first time, if that makes sense. So hopefully we'll be able to do more of these. I just need life a little bit to just slow down. Let me catch up, you know? Okay, this is just about fully covered. I just have a few sections. I always pay super close attention to like the top edge. Make sure I get that fully covered, because sometimes your epoxy will just repel in those areas. And just being really like focused on the gold area, because again, metallic paint also sometimes will like repel your epoxy a little bit. And if you find that's happening really often or a lot, just simply spray your cup before you go to glitter, before you're ready to glitter, with just like a clear spray paint, and it'll avoid the issue. Okay. I think we're good. I think so. Okay. Set her right there. Don't move. Another person from Canada. Hello. Thank you so much for being here, baby D. I do too. I love lives. I love lives. They're my favorite. If you only, I know a lot of you who are in the comments also follow me on my other social media. But I'm live twice a week because clearly I just love to chat and talk. As introverted as I am, I will sit and talk to someone or anybody who wants to come watch me on live for hours. So there's that. Okay, so the way that I do this, and if you guys have watched any or all of my tutorials, is I do this kind of the same way. I always go in with the chunkiest cut of all of the colors, and then kind of move from there to the medium cut, then the fine cut, versus working color by color. And this is simply for the fact of doing this, I feel like allows me to blend my colors better. Whereas if I focus on one color at a time, I feel like I have harsher lines from color to color, which is what I don't want. I want this to look like this was a full ombre, right? All the way around the cup, which means that everything just fully like blends right into the next color seamlessly. Hi, Jennifer. Your very first live. I'm so happy to see you here. So I have just some, like, it's holiday paper, but like literally the paper packs you can get from Michael's. They're my favorite thing. I always grab them when they're on clearance because these are perfect for putting under your space for catching your glitter. Hi, Shanika Boo. Okay, so we're going to start with Retro, which is our chunky color from Lysha Creations, okay? If you don't have this color, this is perfectly fine. Any chunky golds will work. And honestly, any glitters in your stash of glitters will work, okay? I will, though, after this live, probably later today, because we're taking the boys skating. I'll update everything I used today. So we're gonna do just a little bit of this. I'm a little bit nervous. Let me pour this out first. Sometimes, yeah, that was gonna come out really fast. That means I gotta go a little easy. So I'm just going to kind of very lightly tap. I'm not really doing anything other than just basically mapping out where my gold is going to stay and live. Kind of sparse, a little spread out. I'm not going to put any of this glitter or any of the chunkies on the bottom because those are a pain in the butt to have to sand later. So okay, so let me show you what I have so far. Missed a little bit of a spot. So that is just with those golds, okay? That is literally it. What do you need, bud?
I need you to throw the heater on out here.
It is on out here.
It's so cold out there.
Okay, I'm live, honey.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you for coming to join me, Fashish.
You're on YouTube?
Yeah. I know, but the way you said it, you're like, you're on YouTube? Yeah, what do you mean? Okay, so we've done the gold. We're gonna move into our purple, not our purple. We're gonna move into our coral color next, but remember, I don't have a chunky coral color, so I'm just gonna use a translucent white as my base, okay? And so this should mimic, for the most part, the color that is underneath it, so I shouldn't have an issue with like it showing white or the blue opal look, okay? Hi, Karina. Okay, so same thing I did with the gold. That's my partner in crime, Parker, for anybody who doesn't watch my other lives. He's always coming out here to ask me, what are you doing? So he frequently makes appearances. He's never made an appearance in a YouTube video, but...
Because I heard you saying people from Canada.
Yeah, there's a couple people who live in Canada who are on the live.
Wait, does Canada at the same time as us?
They have time zones just like we do. Like, you know how like the difference in time here is different from where Nana is in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Like that. It just depends on where in Canada they live.
Oh. Why did you put that in there?
To keep it warm.
What's that liquid?
It's just water.
Oh.
Okay, so same deal. And as you can see, right, on that, all it's doing, that opal color, is just giving us a really cute and pretty, like, shifty look, which I'm not mad at. Hi, Natasha. So, we'll pick this up. There's not very much that I actually sprinkled on the paper, believe it or not. And then we can go into our final chunkier color, which is roslyn, which is going to go over our purple. We only have one purple section I have to really worry about. I know, it's so early for you guys over there, Karina. I'm jealous. I wish it was 9:30. I wish it was. You guys get long... I always joke and say that you guys get longer weekends than we do. Which isn't true. But we have to go back to work on a Monday before you guys, and that's not fair. All right, so same deal. I'm avoiding the bottom because I don't want to have to sand. I'll do a lot of sanding. I don't love sanding. It's not my favorite. Now this has a little bit of fine glitter in it. So I am trying to be a little bit more like reserved and not go overboard because I want to be able to add the other colors of purple we're going to add. Okay, and then we have our purple. So we have our first sort of landscape of where all the colors are going to fall or should fall. And then we're going to go in for round two. And round two, of course, is the second layer of glitters, which I think for me, for the gold, I want to say is Nugget. Maybe it's Athena. It might be Athena. Yeah, we'll do Athena next. So we're going to do Athena first. Then it's Jewels and Mango Bliss. Okay, so same deal. Same deal, same pattern, starting with the gold. But I am going to add just a little bit more glitter this time than I did the very first go. We're sort of like thickening up all of the areas, you know? That way, by the time we get to the fine glitter, this is almost completely fully covered in glitter already. And we will do the bottom at this point. And so now too, the other thing I'm focused on is tilting my cup at an angle and letting that glitter fall into those othered areas. So for this, it'll fall into the coral on both sides, so that when we go in with that coral second color, we can really work on blending a little bit. Okay, that's with the second coat of gold. Second coat of gold. Then I get to go in with we're gonna go in with Mango Bliss. probably gonna want to take off the top for this. I don't think it's gonna come out well out of the shaker. Okay, so then we're gonna go in with Mango Bliss. Ooh, that's actually really pretty. I don't know how to describe this glitter. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how to like describe it. It almost looks like really teeny tiny beads, which I know is not true. But it's very, very pretty. Whoa. Do you see that? Like, I don't know how to describe it. I don't even know if you guys can really like see like the texture of this glitter. But it looks like, I don't know, like really teeny tiny dots almost. It has a pretty shift though in the bottle, like a green and purple shift kind of. All right, we can move into purple, and for purple we're doing Jewels. Jewels is really translucent, so this would honestly look really good over lots of different colors. It is translucent. All right, I just want to work on my blend here between that coral color. Okay. Well, I'm not mad about that. Look at that. That is so pretty. Ugh. This is gonna look so cute with like white swirls, like Milky Way style. Okay, we're on to the last round of color. So for the final rotation of color, we have Nugget, Aphrodite, and Wisteria. And this is where I feel like the magic happens. I don't know if it's actually magic, but I like to think it is. Okay. So at this point, we're using these final glitter colors to literally cover up anything that is pure epoxy and isn't covered completely with glitter. So we really are gonna like go pretty heavy-handed in our areas, because we already established a bit of our blend and most of our blend with that first and second color, mostly our second color. But now we get to just like really lean into covering those sections completely and making sure there is no exposed epoxy left behind. So there's the gold. And I feel like you can't really tell as much, I feel like, in the gold sections because it's all metallic, but I feel like you're gonna really see it in the coral and the purple sections. Okay, Aphrodite's next. Oh, so it's, okay, I should have told Parker when he was out here. So it's 12:26 where you are, and then 9:30, that is so cool. I guess it's kind of like us here in the States, I suppose. But I'm less familiar, obviously, with like the areas in Canada because I've never been to Canada. I should go though. I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to go anywhere outside of the United States, if I'm honest. Here, like, I am not playing it safe, if that makes sense. I'm really just letting it, as Jessica Flynn would say, letting it rip. We're using these colors to fill in all of that epoxy. See, you can tell so much more now that that orangey color is on, you know? It's so much more full. Missed a spot on the bottom. It's my favorite. Hi, Jocelyn! Good to see you. Okay, and then the final color, final color is we have Wisteria, which, as I mentioned, is a bit darker, but I'm gonna go to the skating rink today covered in glitter. What's new, right? What's new? Oh, that's so pretty. It just darkens it just slightly, and it's just like, now it's the perfect shade of purple. It's the perfect shade now. Hi, Sil, how are you? Okay, so final thing I do is, now that we're completely covered in olive glitter, take my scissors, to which I have seemingly misplaced, probably on my desk. Where did they go? Oh, I actually put them away for once, because we're gonna aggressively tap this off. Hi, Sarah! Like, aggressively. Because we want anything that's not actually sticking to not be on there. It's so pretty. So because I used fast set, we're just glittering right now. Since I did fast set, this is probably only going to take less than an hour to be completely dry, even though it's cold out here. And then at that point, which I probably won't do today, then I would be able to like go in with anything else I wanted to do, and or spray seal, because I think I'm gonna add leopard print to this. Typically I won't spray seal until after all of the leopard print is on there, but I wouldn't add the leopard print now, simply because I run the risk of the colors the finer colors that I use getting stuck into like the nitty gritty sections and just kind of looking like a mess, if that makes sense. So I'll let this fully dry. I'll take my big old fluffy brush and brush off any excess glitter over the trash before I go in with my leopard spots. You could spray seal if you wanted to. I just always go over the raw glitter and then do the spray sealing all at the same time. And for that, I'll just do Mod Podge. I won't do like epoxy for that. Then I seal, and then that's done. These colors are so pretty together, right? It's so pretty already. I'm really obsessed with this color palette. I can't even tell you why. I saw it. So most of my like color inspo, I feel like, comes from Pinterest. I'm like obsessed with color palettes, clearly. And I think that I must have seen something on there, because I'm pretty sure it was Pinterest, but I don't know if it was like a color palette or just like an image that had some of these colors in it that I like really loved. But I love it. I'm gonna go throw this on the turner just so that I don't knock it over on my desk. All right. Well, there is that cup. The other bit of time, I figured, well, I need to put my glitter away. So let me do that. But then I figured I'd hopefully be able to finish up this cup. So if you've also been following me for, I don't know, forever, I've been working on this 40-ounce cup, honeycomb, for like, I don't know, 7,000 years, we'll say. It's an exaggeration, but also not. I've at least been working, this has at least been sitting incomplete for 6 months. 6 months, that's a lot. That says a lot. But as is lots of my projects, I'm like a project, like serial project hopper. Like I just go from craft to craft to craft, but I don't always finish something before I start something new. You know? I'll put those away later, since they go up top. I need one of those like, you know, like the ladders that Belle had in her library. I feel like I need one of those for my glitter wall, because then I gotta get all the way up there to get all my glitter. Anyway, okay, so we'll craft a little bit, do a little bit of rhinestoning. Let me just pick up my mess. So this cup I'm using, oopsies. This cup that we're gonna do kind of the rest of, I am using opal luminous pink stones, right? I think that's what they are. They're from Flynn Sister Supply Shop. Luminous pink. The opals have a blue shift. I have those too. I wanted to see if I could do honeycomb. Honestly, I started this because I wanted to see if I could do a full 40 ounce in honeycomb. I don't know why I didn't think that I could, but I had never done it because my preferred method of rhinestoning is scatter method. So I challenged myself, but clearly it wasn't too much of a serious challenge because I haven't finished it, you know? I was just like, okay, well, that was cool. All right. Okay, so I have everything I need in the cup. Okay, so all of the cup so far is filled with SS20s. Okay, I've been using, goodness gracious. What is this? I can't think of it. Liquid Fusion. That took me too long to think about. I have been using Liquid Fusion for my glue of choice. I am gonna see if I can move you guys to like watch the drop down a little bit because that's way easier. Glittering, obviously I can still show you. Rhinestoning, I can't really show you except for going like this. So let me see if I can do that, but I gotta pull my other mount up here so you guys can see a little bit more up close and personal of the rhinestoning process. So I think I need like one more row, I think, of the SS20s before I get into the smaller stones. And for the smaller stones, I'm going to go in with SS16s. I did also buy SS12s. I don't know that I'm going to need them, but we're going to discover together if I do. Apparently I can't reach over today. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, so now you guys can see that quite a bit better. So I'm thinking I'm going to need like one more line of SS20s is my thought process before I have to go in with like the smaller stones to like fit them into this section. That's the thought process. That's what I was told. We'll see how everything pans out. I'm just kidding. Okay. I've used both Liquid Fusion and Gem Tack. Yeah, I agree. Over Gem Tack, I definitely think I prefer Liquid Fusion. My favorite, honestly, though, way to rhinestone lately has been using fast set epoxy. But I wouldn't do fast setting epoxy on something like a honeycomb personally. I just feel like it would be messy. Whereas if I'm doing scatter, like it doesn't matter. I'm moving in small sections anyway, if that makes sense. Whereas like, although I still do that with honeycomb, I always go around the cup. I know some people like to like just work down the cup. But for me to like keep lines straight, I legit have to work around the cup. And even then my lines are definitely not always straight. But that's why practice makes perfect. Okay. I like Bob Smith's too. I do have Bob Smith's and I do use that often, especially if I don't feel like warming up epoxy. Ooh. That's a good one too. The only glue I think that I have never tried for rhinestone projects is Universal. What is that? Super Tight? Is that what it is? Super Tight? I've never used that. Okay, I just want to make sure that comes out. But that's similar to like Bob Smith's, isn't it? Or am I just making that up? I've never used it, so clearly I have no knowledge. Lactite? No, I don't think so. I don't know. It's another one. I'm probably getting it all wrong. I'm probably totally getting that all wrong. Loctite is a spray though, isn't it? I know some people, I've seen people use it for like, what do you call it? Like a glitter adhesive. Isn't that what that is? Why does it sound like someone's mowing the lawn outside? There is no green grass to even see, let alone mow. I thought it was called, I don't know, it's whatever Crystal Ninja uses. I'm pretty sure it's like, it's called like Universal Pro, but it's like a brand off of another already brand. Maybe it is Loctite. But the one that I've seen is like, it's like a, similar to like the Gorilla Glue that has like the Gorilla Glue epoxy where it's like part A and part B in the same tube and you squeeze it out at the same time. It kind of looks like that. Okay, don't judge my lines too hard. Some of them did get a little weeble wobbly, as I like to say. But we won't talk about that. Because when you look at it from far enough away, you can't tell. And hopefully when it's done, you really won't be able to tell. Yeah, Loctite usually comes in a spray. I wasn't sure how I was going to love these stones. I'm not going to lie. Because they have more of a, they have more of like a yellow shift when you look at them. I don't know if you can tell. They have more of a yellow shift. And I had thought I got the opal luminous pinks, which have a blue shift. I don't know. I guess clearly that's my favorite kind of shift. So I wasn't sure how I was going to like this on this colored base. But I actually really love this. So I was pleasantly surprised. I might have to do, no, I think at this point, I definitely am going to have to move to smaller stones. And this is where things are going to get real hairy. So you guys are going to see me have to work through this to really figure it out when we get into the next row. Let's see how far we get in the next 12 to 20 minutes. Guys, I'm having so much fun on YouTube Live. I was telling everybody in my Facebook group last night, I was like, guys, I'm going to be live on YouTube. Like, come hang out with me. Please don't make me be alone. I go, I'm nervous. I go, I don't know why I'm nervous, even though I literally do lives twice a week. I go, but I'm nervous because it's YouTube. Like, what if I mess up? Which, if you watch any of my lives, I always mess up. So, I wouldn't be me if I didn't mess up, you know, at some point. No, Lori, I spray painted this beforehand. I originally was going to do like a purple color, but I couldn't find a purple rhinestone that I loved because I really wanted like, that was in stock at the time. I really wanted like a lavender color, which would be like an amethyst colored stone, but I couldn't find it in SS20s with Flint Sisters Supply Shop. So I was like, okay, well, let's do pink instead. So I had painted it before like even having my stones because I had an idea, bought all the stuff, and then had to obviously switch gears because I didn't have this particularly colored stone. But you don't even have to paint it if you don't want to. You could go right over with the stones. I love this one. I got a bit discouraged after it takes 7,000 years. I agree. Rose, who was in the comments earlier, she's probably still here listening. She rhinestones for like hours a day, and we were chatting via live the other day, and I was like, Rose, how do you sit and rhinestone for so long? Like, I can't stay focused for long enough. You know what I mean? So that's why a project like this will take me like forever to complete. Now, if somebody ordered this, I would put way more haste. But because I'm just doing this for fun, you know, right? Like just something I wanted to create. Like I'm not forcing myself or pushing myself. So maybe that's the problem, is that I need to just pretend that it's already ordered and paid for and I need to get haste, or I need to, you know, put haste on it. But I agree. They take a long time. I did not seal the paint. Nope. This is just right on top. I didn't seal it. You don't have to seal it if you're going to do paint. Some people do. I would get a 40-ounce honeycomb done in a day. Oh my gosh, Rose. I'm jealous. I'm jealous because the way that my eyes would go cross-eyed trying to do such a thing. Okay, so now we're going to switch gears to a smaller stone, okay? And we're doing the SS16s, and that's going to help us fill this gap. It is going to look a little bit weird, but it shouldn't look too weird. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it, okay? But we're gonna see if I can like really pull this together. Let's see if we can get at least a row of this done. Because honestly, this row is gonna like make or break the rest of this cup. If I can open the bag today. Okay. Let me put the cup on this so I don't accidentally put it back in there, because I would do that. I totally would do that. Okay. So you have to go smaller with like this section because the SS20s like won't fit basically. Because of the taper. Oop, I need a little bit more glue there. So let's hope that I can make this work. Otherwise I'm be like, Rose, help me, what did I do wrong? Why does it look ugly? Just kidding. Okay, I don't know if I want, Now it's like, do I go right up next to each other? And like disregard the divots? Does that make sense? Or, no, because if I follow the divots, there's gonna be too much space. Honestly, I'm gonna leave the handle as is. If I had epoxied this first, I might have did something like fun. If that makes sense, like fun with it or like different. But my whole process with this cup was just, can I do honeycomb on a 40 ounce? So I didn't really think like any farther than that, if I'm being completely frank. I don't know how I love this. I don't. I'm gonna commit to the line. Because worst case scenario, if it doesn't dry. If it isn't dry yet, I'll just pull it off. But I know that this part is the hardest. This was the part I was worried about. I know. The spaces make me crazy. Scatter all the way. I'm right there with you, Rose. I'm literally only doing this cup because I wanted to see if I could do it. But I agree. Plus, I feel like, for me at least, with a cup like this, it's probably another reason why it's taking me so long, is that I get bored much quicker. This cup that I've also been working on for 97 years is another project that, okay, will I get it off is the question. There we go. This one, I loved it when I first started, and there's nothing wrong with it now. It's taken me forever to finish it. But this is more my style. You know what I mean? Like something where like I feel like I'm working on something new every section. I don't know. But this one is also not done. And that's just over vinyl. This first line is not straight, and it's making me like, I guess a little OCD, and I'm not an OCD person, but The other lines I was okay with, but I feel like this one like stands out like a sore thumb. But I feel like I have to do it. I gotta commit. I have to commit. I know. I love that cup. I need to finish it. That's another cup I need to finish. You know what I need? I need just a week off from like everything. I need a week off from cooking dinner. I need a week off from work. I need a week off from cleaning the house to just finish all of my unfinished projects. Because I have a lot. And I mean a lot of unfinished projects. No lie. I have a ton of them. Probably too many of them. I'm making pretty good time too. Look at that. Even though I'm literally... Ah! Pulled that right off. I don't like that this isn't straight. Does that make sense? I don't know. I might have to put space between it, and I don't like it. Whoa. This is why I do scatter. This is why scatter is my favorite. Okay. We're going to commit to this line. We're going to commit to this line. And it'll determine afterwards if it takes me 7 more months to finish this. Just kidding. No, my goal really is to get this done by next week. Tuesday on Instagram will be the last day that I work on this cup, if I even need until Tuesday night. Because I'm determined to finish some things. I also started a Stanley for myself in rhinestones. And all I've gotten is the logo done. That's it. That's all I've gotten done so far. I started it. I bought the cup like last spring. And started it sometime in the summer. So maybe it'll be ready for next summer. It's like a really pretty like orange. So maybe it'll be ready for next summer, you know? It's fine. Just won't be able to use it yet. So when people ask, you have a Stanley? Yeah, I do. I just don't actually use it yet because it's not done. I haven't finished. Here's my trick for spaces, glitter and epoxy in the same. Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good one, Rose. I never really thought about that. I always like forget like to add a little bit of like glitter mica too in your glue. That way like then you get a little bit of sparkle too under all the stones, which is number one, beautiful. Nothing wrong with a little extra sparkle if you ask me. Why does it sound like, it must be my son upstairs. Like, why does it sound like one of my kids are jumping on their bed? You glitter all of them? So like, I'm curious because like I have seen people do that. I've never glittered, I don't think so. I've never done a rhinestone cup. I've never completed a rhinestone cup that was like glittered first. Okay, I lied. If I'm rhinestoning over like the last layer, yes. But how many coats of epoxy do you typically, or would you typically do, Rose, over like a cup before you start to rhinestone? Just curious. And does it mess with, well, I guess if you're doing scatter, it doesn't mess with anything. But honeycomb, I'd be worried that like it would mess with the straightness of my lines. The only time I've epoxied first is if I've had a glittered cup and then like done it over top. So like this cup. Another cup that is not done. It's a work in progress. I'm just showing you guys all my work in progresses today. So like this cup was fully done, and then I added the rhinestones over top, you know? So that's usually the only time that I would glitter or epoxy first, or that I have, and then added rhinestones. Okay, I got all the way around. I don't know what I think yet, if I'm being honest. But maybe I'm not gonna know until I do the other lines. Whoops. Oh no! I accidentally pulled that glue off, or that stone off. I don't know. Let me hold it back. I mean, I can see, but I guess maybe when it's done, you won't be able to see as well. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with it for now, because I can only fix issues if I have a problem to fix in the first place, right? Gotta see it through. Before I hop off, though. Hi, Nitra! Let me fill in these sections with my smaller stones. Let me start with these ones first. I might have to go smaller than this. Oh no, these ones will fit fine. Maybe. I'm gonna put some of the 12s in here and see if I can fill in these gaps. I have just a little bit of gap where the handle is, which I expected. Oh no, I ripped through the thing. Darn. Means now I can't seal this bag again. Whoops. But no problem, we'll just fix it like that. What do we think? Can I get another small one there and there? Okay. I'm gonna finish up this handle area and then I am gonna hop off. Sometimes you just gotta, bam, push one down. But I felt like this was so much fun. I had a lot of fun today. I'm gonna have to do these more often here on YouTube, because this was a blast. And if you love watching me craft live, I do this quite often over on Instagram on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then on Fridays in my free Facebook group. So feel free to join me on those platforms too. But I definitely will get some. Okay, none of those are gonna fit. I'm gonna have to use 12s. I definitely will. Let me turn this. I'm making this way harder than I need to. Do more of these lives in the coming months, weeks, etc. I know. I'm not. And you're. Thank you, Rose. I love hanging out with you guys. It's always so much fun. We always have a blast. You guys keep me company and on task. So it's perfect. Okay. Ooh, can I fit one here? I don't think I can. I actually might have needed to get smaller stones than this. Can you believe that? Okay, well, we just shoved that one down. Works for me. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, that is it for me today on my first ever YouTube live. I will definitely let you guys know, like, in the community tab of my page when I'm going to do my next live here. Maybe I'll make this like a once a month thing. Take a break from tutorials and we'll just craft once a month here on YouTube live. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have a fantastic and wonderful weekend. And we'll be back to another tutorial for next week on Saturday. So definitely come hang out with me in the live video premiere Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.